Today we hear the concluding verse of Psalm 32. Be glad in the Lord, and rejoice, O righteous, and shout for joy, all you upright in heart. One of the dynamics that we find in the book of Psalms is that the two types of psalms that occur most frequently, one is a lament, and the second most common type of psalm is a psalm of praise. And this really reflects the human condition. I know that some of you who watch these daily devotions are in a season or a time when you may relate or connect very much with the Psalms of lament and invitations to be glad and rejoice and shout for joy seem hollow almost, or you find great difficulty in doing it. And on the other hand, some of you who listen to these devotions, you are in a wonderful season of life, and you very much can relate to being glad and rejoicing and being joyful. And part of what the Psalms teach us is that wherever we are at emotionally, we can bring that emotional state to God in prayer. And that's why reading the Psalms, I think, is so beneficial, because when you're feeling in a lamentable period of your life, you can turn to a lament, and you can even write your own about what is paining you and what is giving you so much heartache and difficulty. And at the same time, we also need to recognize that God invites us to gladness, to joy, and to rejoicing. And that's very important because we can't live our entire life in lament. That would be a terrible place to stay. And so the Psalms are constantly inviting us, even in the Psalms of lament, they are inviting us to move to praise. And part of how we do this, and I know for some of you this is a challenge, it's always looking for, what do I still have to be thankful for? What do I still have to be grateful for? What can I express gratitude to God for today? And that's what being glad in the Lord involves. And the fact that we still have a God who we believe loves and cares for us, even when we are in a time when we find that hard to believe ourselves. But we do. And so being glad and rejoicing and shouting for joy, this is where we hope to move to. And even if you're lamenting today, I hope you can look back at a time in your life when you were feeling that way, and you could rejoice and be glad. And I believe, and we pray, that those days will also come again. Even if you're in a season or a time of grief or of loss, eventually, life we need to continue to live as faithfully as we can, just like Job did, just like the people we read about in Lamentations who are lamenting and crying the loss of a child. We need to keep moving forward. And part of how we do that is by asking ourselves, what would our loved ones want us to do? And would our loved ones we've lost want us never to experience joy or gladness again? And the answer to that is, I really doubt that very seriously. They would want us to still have times of joy and gladness. And we can find that in the Lord and together with the people of God.